In this world, we often talk about dreams as something that only we can experience. You dream your dreams and I dream mine, and we never talk about them unless we want to. But what if it wasn't like that? What if your dreams could be shared with other people? Like when you walk into a room, you don't know who's thinking what. But in the dream world, you would be able to read everybody's mind. That could be overwhelming for some people. Maybe there's an app for that. Something that allows you to share your dreams. Well, actually, that thing already exists. It's called Dream Journal, and it allows you to make videos out of your dreams. But today, let's imagine that we have something better. Let's imagine that we can just send our dreams directly to other people's minds. This is sci-fi, and that's the way it works. So if you dream of something weird, then your friends will also dream of it. If you dream of something sad, then they'll feel sad. And if you dream of something happy, then they'll be happy too. The question is, should you do that? Should we be able to share our dreams? In theory, yes, because we all deserve to know what it's like to be someone else for a little while. It expands our understanding of each other. But in reality, no, because most people are very selfish and don't care about other people's feelings at all. They just want to hang out with their friends or watch TV or play games. They do whatever they want to do and don't think twice about how that affects other people. I mean, just look at TikTok. People are doing whatever they want and don't think twice about how that affects other people. So if we had a device that allowed us to share our dreams, then every time we use it, we would have to ask ourselves, do I want my friends to experience this? Do I want them to see things from my perspective? And not only that, but we would also have to deal with the problem of the other person having a different reaction than we expected. For example, maybe you have a fight with your boyfriend and then you go to sleep angry. Now you have two options. Either you let it go and hope you don't dream about him tonight, or you put on the dream sharing headset and let him see things from your perspective. And here's the thing. Even if he understood why you were upset, it wouldn't change anything. Your anger wouldn't disappear. You would still feel the same way, but now he would feel bad too. So if you had the choice, would you do it? Would you let him experience your anger? Some people would say yes because they believe that's the best way to solve problems. But others would say no because they don't want to hurt him. Some people would do it to everyone, and others would only do it to close people. What I'm saying is that if we had a device like this, then it wouldn't be used as often as we think. I mean, if you had a friend that made you relive their nightmares, would you stay friends with them? Maybe if they paid you a lot of money, but probably not. We all have secrets, dark things we don't want anybody else to know about, and some people would take advantage of that. For example, you might work at a company where your boss makes you do crazy things that are illegal and immoral. But you keep quiet because you need a job and you're scared of losing it. He knows that and keeps pushing you until one day you snap and punch him in the face. Then you quit your job and live happily ever after. Except you can't because now he has the power over you. If he puts on that headset and shares that dream with somebody else, then you'll have to deal with the consequences. This is why the government would probably ban that technology because it could be used as evidence against you, even if it was only a dream. But let's say that didn't happen and we all had that freedom. Let's say that we could share our dreams without any consequences. What would we gain from that? Well, first of all, more empathy. If you wanted to be an influencer, you wouldn't have to pretend to be someone else. You could just put on the headset and show people your life. And not only that, but you would also get paid for it. There would be a lot of people willing to pay for that. I mean, Elon Musk already does that by sharing his Neuralink progress with the world. Every time he has a new update, he tweets about it and everybody gets excited. Some people invest millions of dollars based on his tweets, but they still don't understand the technology behind Neuralink. They just trust him. So if we had a device that allowed us to share our dreams, then we would all become influencers and we would all make money. But would that be good or bad? I think it's complicated. On one hand, we would learn more about each other, but on the other hand, we would also become more dependent on each other. For example, right now, if we want to relax, we turn on a movie or play an instrument or read a book. But if we had a device that allowed us to share our dreams, then we wouldn't have to do any of those things. We would only have to connect the headset to our heads and wait for someone to send us a dream to experience. We would literally turn into zombies. We would rather watch other people's dreams than live our own lives. You know how we have so many streaming platforms these days: Netflix, Disney, HBO, Amazon Prime, Paramount, Peacock, Showtime, Hulu, YouTube, Red, iTunes, Microsoft, Epix, AMC Plus, Crunchyroll, Funimation, PBS, Stars. The list goes on forever. It's becoming impossible to keep up with all of them. But if we had a device that allowed us to share our dreams, then all of those streaming platforms would become irrelevant overnight, because why would you watch Squid Game on Netflix when you could just plug in a headset and experience it in real life? But here's the thing. What if the person whose dream you're watching doesn't want you to watch anymore? What if they disconnect before you reach the end of the episode? Then you would be stuck in limbo, unable to move, unable to speak, unable to do anything except waiting until they decide to reconnect. You would be entirely at their mercy. And the scariest part is that there would be people addicted to this. People that would spend all their days watching other people's dreams instead of living their own life. These people would call them dreamers. The dreamers would have entire communities online, places where they could rate each other's dreams. 5 stars for action, horror, romance. 4 stars for adventure, comedy, drama, thriller. 3 stars for documentary, music, game show. 2 stars for kids and family, reality. And 1 star for news. In fact, I think we already have something like that. It's called Second Life, a virtual world where people can do whatever they want. And although it's not exactly the same thing, the similarities are there. It's like a metaverse where people can share their dreams. And to be honest, it's kind of scary how big it got. But the truth is that we can never truly know what it's like to be someone else. We can only try to imagine what it must be like. And that is why we have to be careful with this technology, because once we open Pandora's box, there's no going back. It's like the guy who said that dreams are the ultimate multi-sensory VR experience. If you want to know what it's like to be God, just wake up and realize that you already are. I really hope that we don't have this technology anytime soon, because I don't want to lose my privacy. And I also want to protect the privacy of other people. The thing is that we all deserve to have a private life, even if we're public figures. We all deserve to have a place where we can go and be ourselves without being judged by anyone. Just think about it. You work hard during the week to make sure you have enough money for food and shelter and clothing. And then you come home and spend your free time playing games or watching movies or hanging out with your friends. And then someone comes along and says, "Hey, I want to share your dream with me." Why? Because they think that they'll understand you better that way. But in reality, they're just being nosy. They don't care about you. They only care about themselves. We all know that this world is full of fake people, and we do and need to make it worse by allowing others to enter our minds. That's why we have to be careful with AI and neural links and brain-computer interfaces. We can't allow corporations or governments to force us to share our dreams. We must protect our privacy at all costs because that's what makes us human.